Good afternoon. My name is Edward Oberholtzer. I'm the resident priest here at the Joseph Priestley Zen Sangha. We're an affiliate of Empty Moon Zen. Do you remember Minesweeper? For those of us old enough to have played it with a couple of pieces of graph paper and a couple of pencils, it predates that Windows 95 game and the classic version you can now get in the Apple App Store. You call out G9 and be told, miss, H7, and hit. Perhaps you know the drill. I sometimes feel as though sitting on the cushion is a form of that game, Minesweeper. I sweep through my mind, thoughts pop up. I remember that sweeping is, in a sense, pointless. The thoughts are always there. Like the heads of the Hydra that Hercules cut off, only to have them grow back again. Unlike Hercules, I can't heat my sword to a white-hot intensity in order to cauterize the wound and prevent the thoughts from re-emerging. And I really wouldn't want to do that. Silence is not something you will ever find. I know this, having searched for it all my life. My wife has long complained of tinnitus. She tells me that a buzzing, a humming like the sound of a fluorescent light bulb going bad always follows her. When I stop and listen, I can hear it coming up behind me too. An inchoate earworm. There, like the constant ticking of the clock in the belly of the crocodile that bit off the hand of Captain Hook. I wait for the day when it overwhelms my ears. I used to sit by the doorway in the Zendo at the Boundless Way Temple in Worcester, Massachusetts. While Doksan was going on, there was a white noise machine running just around the corner. The sound, a simple hum, would, in my mind, gradually morph into a wordless chorus, into the sound of a didgeridoo. My mind couldn't allow it to remain formless and would impose a form I wasn't anticipating. John Cage, like many composers, treasured silence. He was told in the early 50s that the Harvard Psychology Department had a sensory deprivation chamber and finagled a chance to try it out. There was a pool of heavily salted, to provide buoyancy, water at body temperature in a room sealed and painted black with no light source and, most important, complete soundproofing. Sounds like heaven to an introvert and hell to everyone else. Cage realized, floating there, that there was no way to escape the sound of his own heartbeat, of the blood coursing through his veins. His famous piano piece, 4 minutes and 33 seconds, 4.5 minutes of the pianist sitting before the piano and not playing a single note, was the product of this experience. Not a piece of silence, but one filled with the sounds of birds outside the open windows, of traffic passing by, of the audience nervously shuffling their feet, coughing, getting up, leaving the hall in anger. No, you cannot escape into a non-existent silence. Edmund Husserl, the early 20th century phenomenologist, wanted to present things as they were in themselves. He proposed that in looking at the world we set aside our preconditions, allowing things to stand forth without those preconceived notions. The phenomenological epoche, he called it, a setting aside of our thoughts. And of course, we really can't do that. All we can do is recognize our own prejudices that follow us when we see that the red of the red wagon of William Carlos Williams, prejudices that inform our relations with our fellow citizens, prejudices that haunt our thoughts, our lives, our culture, prejudices that are there like cages, sounds of the heartbeat, the white noise didgeridoo, the thoughts and feelings that we each sit with each day on the cushion. And as we sit, as the thoughts arise and drift off, we sit with Franz Kafka, who, in the 109th, the last of his posthumous Zurau aphorisms, wrote, "You do not need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. Do not even listen. Simply wait. Be quiet, still and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked. It has no choice. It will roll in ecstasy at your feet." Of course, there's no real need to unmask the world. It will simply come and go. And if sitting with Kafka is not to your taste, try T.S. Eliot, whose poem East Coker from the Four Quartets tells us, "I said to my soul, be still and wait without hope, for hope would be hope for the wrong thing. Wait without love, for love would be love for the wrong thing. There is yet faith, but the faith and the love and the hope are all in the waiting. Wait without thought, for you're not ready for thought. So the darkness shall be the light, and the stillness the dancing, whisper of running streams and winter lighting. The wild time unseen and the wild strawberry, the laughter in the garden echoed ecstasy, not lost, but requiring, pointing to the agony of birth and death. Waiting, sitting on your cushion, and the wild time arises. It is that time of the year. Waiting, and the running streams speak in our ears like cages birds, like the white noise makers' choral tones. Wait, let these arise, let these drift off, and they will arise, and just as surely they will drift off, no matter how you sweep. Kazan, our eminent ancestor, in telling the Enlightenment story of our seventh ancestor, Mishraka, ended the tale, a tale of wizards and bhikshus, ended as he always did with a poem, and in his lovely, gentle way of introducing that poem, in Francis Dogen Cook's translation, he told us, "This morning, in order to say something definite about this story, I have a humble verse. Do you want to hear it? Even with purity like an autumn flood reaching to the heavens, how can it compare with the haziness of a spring night's moon? Many people desire to find purity in their lives, but though they sweep and sweep, their minds are not yet empty." That minesweeper's game is filled with hidden ships, that mind you sit with. It's filled with hidden thoughts and feelings that bubble up, rise to the surface, and if we let them, if we open the hand of thought, will drift away. Sweep and sweep. You'll never empty that mind. Thank you.